All right, we got a really fun, quick look here of two instruments. They're commissioned by a wonderful family that asked me to make a number of gifts, including these two instruments. But it's all out of wood from their family's farm that's been in their family since, if you remember the exact date, see here, it's inside the fiddle, 1847. So they've had this family land since 1847, and so they gave me some species off of their land and asked me if I could make some things out of them. I made some pens and boxes for Christmas gifts and things like that for their family. But the main two features were to make a violin and to make a banjo. Now, there's some unusual woods here for the tops that we'll talk about. So let's break into one of them first. And first we'll talk about the fiddle. So the fiddle is, or violin, whatever you want to say. I have it set up as a violin in terms of the bridge and action and some other details. The sound post and whatever else is tuned more towards violin than fiddle. But it is slightly unusual because it is a quarter sawn white oak back, a quarter sawn white oak top. It has cherry ribs on the upper and lower bouts and maple ribs on the sides. It also has a cherry neck. Everything else is ebony. But those are the woods that came from their farm, was the white oak, the cherry, and the maple. And so you'll see those, as well as cedar in the banjo coming up. But I thought you'd like to see this. This one sounds really nice. Against popular demand or further review, or whatever you want to say, everyone always says a spruce top, or they can argue on what kind of spruce and what kind of whatever. And we went through that argument. Me and this family went through that discussion, not argument between us, but that thing in the ethos of violin making, of what to put on the top. And so I said if the primary goal was to make the best sounding instrument, by best I mean, industry standard sounding instrument, I would do a spruce top. But if the goal of the project is to remember and show off the farm and its land and the trees, then I would do an oak top, because that's the only really suitable top. I think that would work well with a violin or a fiddle. I've never seen a fiddle in person that had a red cedar, not a eastern cedar or a western cedar. This is a eastern, like a aromatic cedar. I've never seen one of those before on an instrument like this. And so I didn't really feel comfortable doing that because it has so many knots and it's really soft. I didn't know how to function. But I was pretty confident about doing an oak top. And I think it turned out really lovely and nice. In a little bit, we'll see some glamour shots. So let's look at a couple of details on this instrument. Okay, you can see us up close here now. This is the quarter sawn white oak. I'll show you the back here. And you can see the rays in there and the rings. But you can also see this spalting that's down the center. And that spalting is normally near the edges. It's the beginning stages of rot in the sapwood and some other areas in the oak. And where a fungus infects the tree. This won't change over the course of the instrument or the life of the wood. I use a lot of spalting and a lot of different things. I also roasted this log in a kiln before I started drying it, just to make sure there were no beetles or biological stuff living inside of it. I got a funny story about the cedar here in a second with that. But this wood did have some ants and stuff in it, in the bark. But once it was all cleaned out and everything was taken care of in the kiln, this wood was dried over a long time. And but that spalting, I matched, it's normally white here in the sapwood, and I used the varnish to kind of color match it a little more and not make it as dramatic. But I like this back. Some deep, deep old cherry for these ribs and the neck. You can see it there. Yeah, I think it looks pretty sharp. So we'll hear it in a little bit. We'll put a bow across it and you can see what it is up close, or what it sounds like here for just a second. All right, quick sound sample, but I'm not a fiddle player. So we'll see what we got. But let's talk about the banjo next. So with our banjo here, we have a few weird things going on. We went back and forth on the type of instrument to make. They didn't know if they wanted to have a tack head banjo, they originally thought about having a tenor banjo, and they didn't know what they were going to do. They were kind of pressing pause on it until they came into the studio and they saw one I had made previous, which is an arch top, wooden top banjo. And it has a unique sound. It sounds slightly like a dulcimer mixed with a banjo. It has a nice sound to it. But it has an aromatic cedar top, the white oak, same white oak back, a bent maple rim, solid maple rim there, and then a maple neck with a white oak, quarter sawn white oak fingerboard. The headstock we'll see in a second has a shamrock in it with cherry as the headstock, which will darken up lovely and nice over the years. The earliest owner of this land was an Irish immigrant, and they're really proud of their heritage. And there's a lot of other things with the shamrock in here. But we'll look up close, and then we'll get to hear this one. And I can play this one, since I'm a banjo person. All right, there you go. There's that white oak back, the maple sides, and that aromatic cedar front. Now, normally on F-holes, and they like just the style of the F-hole. We got lots of options here, and they chose the F-hole options here. But on a normal F-hole on a violin, there are little notches, and those little notches dictate where the bridge goes on a violin or a fiddle. And I like where these are placed-wise, but I did not put notches on them because, just for aesthetics. But if I had to, I'd put them down here, and I thought that would look silly. And if I put them up here, people would make the comment about, aren't the notches where the bridge goes? And what? No. So I just left them off. So they're just smooth F-holes here. But it has a Cadillac's saddle, right, for where the wearing of the string goes. Here's that headstock inlay. So it's got maple inlay with the cherry back, a Cadillac's nut and pip, and that white oak fingerboard with some maple playing dots. Okay, so let's hear it. Let's see what we got for this, and then we'll see some glamour shots of the instruments. So let's hear what that aromatic cedar top sounds like. Yeah. Pretty resonant, still ringing. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you know someone that would love an instrument like this, please send my name along. I love making projects like this out of interesting and special woods. Anything really, I like making anything. So I hope you all have a good day, and it's close to Christmas. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas.